That's it. This channel is going to the dogs. What's up, everybody? Carlton Flowers here, your crypto pro.
Yay!
Back with a very important video. So I'm just joking around. This channel is not going to the dogs, but we are about to go to the DOGE.
Yay!
Because my nephew just bought DOGE and I want to do a little TA so I can help him out. Shout out to Jordan.
Woo!
My nephew, who is at UMKC, computer engineering programming major, learning how to program on the blockchain, and he even has an internship with a blockchain startup this summer. So we are going to take a little bit of a deep dive, a medium dive into DOGE and just break down the chart, see what's going on, and to talk a little history. So this project, of course, started out as a joke. It's a meme coin. And then over time, it started to get a little bit of utility. Actually, it was used in conjunction with Litecoin for a time, having something to do with Litecoin mining. You can look all that up and figure it out on your own. So as of right now, there really is no use case for DOGE, but it's becoming something that it's not. It started as the joke, and now it's becoming something that people are taking seriously. Why? Because it's getting massive media attention. Now, I bought DOGE back in 2017 when it was like maybe 0.0002. Okay, and then I sold for a small profit. I bought it again last summer at 0.0025. I picked up 50,000 for a very small amount. I got bored with it and I sold it in August for 0.0035. Well, as soon as it started to heat up, I FOMO'd in and I bought in again at 1 cent and I sold again at 4 cents. I figured I better take profits. The last time I did it, I bought in at maybe 6 cents and sold at 5 because I got spooked and I let it go. I decided that's it. Washing my hands of the dog, the nasty dog. When you lay with dogs, you will get fleas. And I did not want to get fleas because I itch enough as it is. And then this happens. DOGE becomes a phenomenon, and never in a million years would I have ever guessed that this thing will go above 10 cents. I didn't think it was possible with the token metrics for this thing to go above 10 cents. They have an unlimited supply, but obviously they're not dipping into that by dumping tons of coins into that supply. So as long as they don't increase the circulating supply, it can still go up. With the other factors that are now working together to make this mess into a sensation, we have Elon Musk. The more he tweets about DOGE, it gets more and more popular and has more potential. I thought that he was trolling and just making fools out of all of us by tweeting about DOGE just a couple months ago when all of this started. I thought he was flexing, just trying to show how much he can influence the cryptocurrency market by using DOGE as an example to see how many stupid people would buy in because they actually thought that he was the CEO of DOGE. Well, maybe he's got some other plans for it. Maybe he is really serious about it. I wrote it all off and decided I'm not going to take a chance. It's too volatile and there's just nothing behind this. Well, then here comes Mark Cuban. Now he wants to accept DOGE for the Dallas Mavericks games as a form of payment, which I thought was stupid. Like, why? Why not just stick with dollars? Why go through the trouble? So we move on to the current frenzy where you're seeing DOGE on a Snickers bar and on a Slim Jim. And now we've got Snoop Doggy Doge. Snoop Doggy Dogg is now Snoop Doggy Doge, making videos and singing about DOGE. So everyone has caught the fever. So while it is at a fever pitch, we see this volatility coming in, and then 420 was supposed to be the day the DOGE would go to 60 cents. I didn't believe it would. I didn't fall for it, so I didn't buy it. And sure enough, it went down. But that doesn't mean that we can write it off, because this is turning into a sensation. It's becoming something. It's evolving from something that it was not planned to be. Even though it is a meme coin, like a GameStop play, this could become something that people just stick with. And it could continue on where there are actual use cases for this. They could use this blockchain. It's possible that they could get good utility out of this. And just because it's become a sensation, we see companies wanting to take advantage of the popularity right now, just to tap into it and ride the wave. I don't think Snickers jumped on the Doge bandwagon because this is a great project. No, they jumped on because it's a popular project. Same with Slim Jim. They're not jumping onto this because of the blockchain and how it's structured and because of the token metrics. No, they're jumping onto this because everybody's going bananas and Snoop Doggy Doge is out there rapping 1, 2, 3 into the 4. Snoop Doggy Doge. And who's going to be his new partner? The Shiba? Snoop Doge and Dr. Shiba is at Yo Do. All right, please forgive me. I'm just getting a little out of control now. Let's pull up the chart. Let me show you what's going on with the chart. So here's where we are right now. I'm going to shrink this just a little bit if I can. Well, let's just get rid of my handsome face for a moment so we can focus on the chart. This is the 4-hour chart, and the thing that drew my attention tonight, which made me want to shoot this video for you, Jordan, is because of the fact that Doge has touched down on the 50-period EMA. It did it again. This is the first time it did, and it bounced back up. Now we got a nice green candle forming, and it's above the line. However, it's not a home run yet, guys. You're not out of the clear, because look at this stochastic. The fast line and the slow line are diverging. See this blue one? That's the %K, kids. See this red one? That's the %D, kids. These two oscillators, when they're going apart, it means continuance of the current momentum. When they start curling back together, like when the blue starts to come back towards the red and we get a crossover, like here, let me circle a crossover so you can see that. That's a crossover. See the little nice crossover? The blue line goes on top of the red, and then they go up, and see, while they're spread apart there, it continues that momentum until it curls around again, and it'll switch directions. Not to say that it can't flip, because it flipped here and then it curled over again, and then we stayed apart. Now the blue line started to approach the red line, indicating crossover to move up, but it fell back off. Then it touched it again and wanted to cross over. It fell back off. That's a sign of weakness. Let's look down here under the MACD. This is looking somewhat ugly. And we also have oscillators here, %D and %K. They are also in a divergent state. And the fast line has just gone below the 0 line here. And the oscillators will probably continue to do this, something like this, until they get down here and decide to cross over and do one of these numbers. That's what we're looking for there. However, the histogram, we had an up cycle, and then it took a second bump up, but then it dipped down and we went negative. And then we had the big surge up again, but we barely made it on top of that 0 line, and now we got this happening right here. This is pretty ugly. So we need this to come all the way back here, cross over, and start to print green bars again here on the histogram so we can see another nice pump. And these look like that. That's what we are wanting. So these oscillators, they need to go full cycle. We need to see this round and then head back up here, because we watch these things when this oscillator dips all the way down here and then goes all the way back up there. We look to see what the price was that it returned. So when we go up to overbought, look at the price it returned. Boom, right there. When we went all the way down here but didn't make it to oversold zone at that 20% line, at this dip, the price it returned was right about there. When we bopped back up again, the price we returned is here. And now we're at the bottom, and we've returned a price right at the 50 EMA, 50 period exponential moving average line. Let's erase that. All right. This is the 200 EMA here. And this little thing on the side, this is called the VPVR, the volume profile, where we put volume instead of at this moment, there's this much volume dollar value. We say at this price, like at 30 cents, we had this much volume. That's called a node because it comes to a head there. That's a popular price. Here at roughly 13.5, 14 cents, this is how much volume is traded at that price. That's why it's on the profile. Price tends to jump to these nodes. And then we have the biggest one that is the point of control right there, the POC. So right now, if we do bounce off of this, the target would possibly be this node here. If it got really strong, it could go for this node here. But if we fail that line, then we're looking at this target. This node is a target, and this one. And if it really gets nasty, if it gets just nasty, this could be a target here. It's possible. Least likely, somewhat likely, likely, less likely. That's how it goes. Now let's look at the 1-day chart. All righty. 1 day. On the 1-day chart, let's turn off drawing mode so we can switch the chart. It doesn't look as good. This is looking ugly, and that's why I'm not ready to buy yet. I might jump in and FOMO, Doge FOMO, one more time. Who knows? I mean, if it hits 60 cents or a buck, I could do this. And I'll tell you why after I get done with this TA here. Now we notice that price has rounded. We had a blow off top here, and now we're sailing down and we're hanging off on this cliff. There's nothing holding us up here. See? Look at where the biggest node is. It's down here at 5.6 cents. Not to say that it's going to go all the way down there, but bloop, look at these nodes. They're not as big here on the 1-day chart. Look at the 50 period EMA on the 1 day. It's down here. So let's say, boys and girls, let's just extend this 50 EMA line if it looks something like this. It could be that on the 1-day chart, this could be a target right there, just above 15 cents. It's possible. Brace yourselves because it could happen. And again, it might not. Now let's move on down and extend the 200 line. It's right around in here. It is possible to come back down to the 200 line. And if it does, that's where you'll be looking at, 6, 7 cents. It's possible. Not saying that it will happen because, of course, thanks to Snoop Doge, and all the other dinglings who are jumping on and creating a frenzy, it could just kind of jump out like that. We don't know what it's going to do. It could consolidate. The best thing that could happen on this 1-day chart, I'll tell you what the best thing could be. If it does something like this, that would be fantastic. And I'll buy in because then if we get a consolidation period, it can take another surge up. If we don't get a consolidation period, it's going to do this. It's going to get weak and it's going to fall over. Let's go back to the 4-hour and then I'll tell you why I might FOMO in. Let's see here. Well, actually, that's enough of the chart. Let's bring my lovely face back up. There we go. So why would I buy this again? I'll tell you why. The market is dead right now. It's looking nasty. I mean, there's like red everywhere. I don't know what Bitcoin is going to do. You got Crypto Kirby talking about massive dumps coming and capitulation and possibly, breaking below 50,000, which he says that if it breaks 50, it could go into the 40s. If it breaks 40s, it could go 30s and even 20s. And then you've got Carl from the Moon, Crypto. They're talking a little bearish, but talking, say, 50,000. You have other people that are saying that this is just a downtrending channel, a swing channel, that we're nowhere near the end of the bull market, which I tend to believe. I mean, the bull market cycle, if this was the end of the bull market, it would be the first time that we cut short the cycle. And I don't see that happening. I think it's not going to be done until fall. So we could have a nasty correction that could run all the way through May into June. And then all of this is going to start again. So my prayer is that we get to load up on cheap projects and then ride the run from there. If this bearishness continues and Doge heats up, I would look to riding the wave, the FOMO wave, because of the liquidity. There's massive volume here. So if I were to invest a large amount because I want to flip, say, $1,000 or $2,000, definitely not financial advice. If you listen to this as financial advice, you could be the next one in the soup kitchen line. Okay, don't play yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. All right, that's the financial advice. But if I were to take a large amount, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, and put it into Doge, I know that when I want to sell the entire bag, I can get rid of the whole bag. So let's say I put $5,000. I don't know where I would get that from, rob a bank, into Doge at, say, 15 cents or 10 cents. And then it blows up to $1. And I want to sell at $1. Are there enough buyers to fulfill the orders? Now, if I was going to get into a low cap gem that's at 1/10 of a cent or something like that, and it goes to 5 cents and I want to sell 1 million tokens at the peak, the orders might not fill because you have to have enough liquidity. In other words, enough people lined up at that high price able to purchase your tokens. So the good thing about Doge is massive volume. Yeah, that means that when I'm ready to sell and I put that sell order in, it's going to go. Now, what we saw recently here on the chart when it hit, let me pull this back up one more time. When we hit this price here, and it was supposed to be Doge 420 day or whatever, and the price did this, all right? My nephew was asking, what kind of dumb people are selling during Doge day knowing it's going to go up? Well, the thing is, the people, the market makers, the institutional folks, the smart money, they were buying before this run-up even happened. All right, let's put a little arrow here. This is where smart people were buying. They get this thing pumped up. We get the first surge, then it comes down, then they load up again. And then all of a sudden, here comes the FOMO wave where everybody else, the retail people, push it up to here. So they want to sell at the highest price they can. And they start selling, and I'm going to draw a line right here, right there. They start selling their bags in this area here, and they can sell, wait a minute, I want to get a rectangle. Get rectangle. Don't get rectangle. Don't get tangled up in a wreck. They start selling here, and they can go all the way down to here, and their lowest target price is 27 cents. So if they're in at, say, 1 cent, they actually are buying way before here. I should have made those arrows down here at like 1 cent. They want to get massive money, and they can sell all the way down to 27 cents, and they're getting rich. All right? And there are enough buyers who thought that Doge 420 day was going to be an extreme success. There's enough people, enough dinglings that are buying all throughout this period that it keeps this going where it doesn't completely fail and it holds 27 cents. Now, let's say if there was not a massive wave of buyers because the FOMO was supposed to kick this up to 60 cents. Let's say all things being equal, no FOMO, no manipulation, and then somebody wants to sell a huge bag. Let's say someone wants to get rid of, say, $10 million worth of Doge or 20 million or $50 million worth of Doge. There's not going to be enough buyers. So instead of this price line doing this, I'm going to show you what the price line would have looked like. It would have looked like this. You would have had candles coming down like this because there would not be enough buying pressure to soak up all of those large purchase orders. Do you get that? But because of the retail FOMO, they were able to prop this thing up where it took a lot longer time to settle down to 27 cents. And they're making massive money instead of selling and say this 20 billion order, they would have to make a market order. They wouldn't be able to put a limit order because say 5% might sell. Let's show you. Let's say if you put in a market order at 20 billion, maybe 5% of that would get liquidated here and sell. And there's nobody left to buy it at that price. So then the price drops. So then 10% gets sold at this level. And then the next 15-20% gets sold here. Well, you still got some left, and then the next 15-20% sells here, and then your last amount sells here because there wasn't enough liquidity at that top price. Do you see that? But with the FOMO and the wave, we had all the suckers coming in, buying, propping, keeping the price from completely dive bombing down all the way to the 200 EMA, where they can make massive profits. So that's how that works, guys. Let's turn drawing mode off and get rid of that chart. So that's all I have for this, and I'm going to be watching. Now, what I want to know is, are you going to play the Doge game? Are you going to be playing fetch with this dog? Are you going to pet the Doge? You going to get fleas? Well, you better get a flea collar if you're going to do this, because you could get fleas when you lay with the dogs. You could get fleas. Okay, you heard? Let me know if you are going to play this game and invest in Doge. What are your thoughts about it? Is Doge the future? Are we all going to Mars? Is this the next world currency? Now look, let's be perfectly clear here. Is Doge going to be the next currency of the United States? Or have you lost your ever-loving minds? Is this ridiculous? Or does this actually have some legitimacy? I'd love to hear your comments. Post it below. Like and subscribe. Share it with a friend. And we'll see you on Mars. I'm out.